It's a great day. You know, I had this one chapel service I had to go to when I was in military school. My dad sent me to a military academy, and none of us were saved. And I hate to tell you this, but none of the preachers that came into that chapel were saved either. We heard from congressmen, from governors, from university presidents. We got one guy, though, that was on fire Episcopalian, I think, because he was father something or other. But everyone on the campus loved hearing him. You know why? He'd show up and he'd say, "This is the day the Lord has made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it." And we all laughed because we never saw someone happy in chapel. And that verse, and I'll never forget, man, we go marching off to chapel that day, and our company commander, he said, "All right, y'all put out. We're going to go hear my favorite preacher, Father so-and-so." And we all knew because he said one line we all liked. This is the day, and this is the day the Lord has made. Good. God wanted you to watch the show today. I believe in divine appointments. I have to believe in divine appointments because so many of the great things in my life I didn't schedule. God dropped them into my life. God's dropping this into your life right now. You're dealing with depression. You're dealing with distress. You got demons you can't seem to get a victory over. You got your body isn't going where your heart wants to take it. Something isn't working. This is your day, and the Lord made it, and he's got the right people here to talk to you. I got Mercedes Sparks, my reliable winged woman over there, and our subject matter expert on Level 10 Living, Bobby Vitality. Bobby could give you Level 10 insight on business development because that's a mastery he has. But if you want to go under the surface, that's what he has to do in order to accomplish his real mission, which is to bring supernatural healing and wellness to the whole world. And I have heard testimony after testimony of believers. Now, mind you, I meet them at the Miracle Crusades with Mario Murillo, who all the healing that God's doing is happening. But we have a special session where we talk about Level 10 matrix, stem cell, the theory, the concept, what happens. And we've seen the supernatural hand of God come down and bring deliverance in. And people have testimony after testimony. So that opened my eyes to the fact that God is moving both in the supernatural signs and wonders, and he's giving to his people knowledge and understanding as to how to live longer, how to be stronger, how to have a younger, healthier life, especially if you're over 50, like I am, and you're jealous that you want to finish the calling strong. Bobby Vitality, I have a question for you. During the break, I always wish we had cameras going because when I'm off the air with guests and when we're taking breaks, the best conversations happen. Yes. And we always say, "Do you guys catch that?" And we never do because we're not recording. But you and Mercedes were talking about Tri-Fi, and you were saying, "Hey, you know what? Your body system, the way it works is like, I'm thinking Wi-Fi, and you're saying Tri-Fi." We got to share that with everybody. Sure. What were you talking, if you feel like it?
Yeah, sure. My honor. First of all, I'm honored to be here with y'all. Level 10 Wellness is, I've committed my life and even my career to making wellness simple, safe, accessible, and affordable. So it's easy for you to make healthy happen in your life. That's what Level 10 Matrix can do for you. I always say, what do? We turn on your Tri-Fi. Modern medicine, we thank God for it, but it looks at you as a thing. So it can cut you, slice you, dice you, drug you, burn you, and all that, when really you're a tripod. You're a trinity. And I say, turn on your Tri-Fi. You're a tripartite being. You're a three-part being. You is a spirit. I know that's not good English, but you is a spirit. You don't have a spirit. You is a spirit, okay? You possess a soul, and you live in a physical body. You know how frustrating it is when you have your cell phone and you don't have any signal, or you're trying to get online somewhere at the airport or somewhere else and you just can't get online. It's frustrating beyond measure. And then you feel great when your Wi-Fi gets turned on. Well, what we do is turn on your Tri-Fi, and it's when your spirit comes in alignment with your soul and then your physical body. And it's just like an adjustment or a reset. And it's so powerful, but it's so simple because the rest of your life should be the best of your life. What are we hearing from the media, from a lot of different voices that are constant? We're saying expect. And let me just tell you, you don't get what you deserve. Thank God for that. Right? If I got what I deserved, I'd be going to hell. Thank God for what Jesus did for us, right? But you get what you expect. You get what you believe for. So I want you all to expect to be healed. Expect to have your Tri-Fi turned on. Expect to increase in health and wellness. Where all the messages that we hear sows disease. We don't treat disease. Your body already knows how to heal itself. Your body is the author of priority, right? And healing and regeneration is already encoded in there. So how does that degeneration go back? Well, we just get off. Our Tri-Fi gets a little off. When our Tri-Fi gets turned on, then you wake up that healing from within. And it's so beautiful. And I love seeing it. And I never get tired of seeing it. And sometimes I'm still amazed. I got to keep myself so expectant when I see all these stories. I hear these stories. Like y'all had Kingdom Kevin in here a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
He's got so many great stories. What an amazing guy. He sends me 6 or 8, I call them smart medicine miracles every single week. And all the groups send us these stories. They're so amazing because God inhabits the praises of his people, right? He lives there. There's healing within that testimonial. When someone shares that testimonial, you can reach out, expect, and grab it, right? And then it becomes real for you. And I don't know a more better praise than some of these smart medicine miracles that we hear. It's literally God's medicine. It's not going to do any harm. It's not going to hurt anybody in any way, shape, or form. And we're transforming lives through simplicity and truth. So when you reset and you turn on your Tri-Fi, it's a beautiful thing. Now, who is the author of dis-ease? Our enemy, right? Just even think of the word. I love words. Dis-ease, the opposite of ease, right? It's your body not at ease. You're constantly being bombarded with these messages of fear, anxiety, anxiousness. Love what y'all do in the political realm and all the other realms. You really being a part of it, I'm so grateful because you all have transformed the nation by making it happen, by going out there and making a difference, right? And transforming someone's life with Level 10 Matrix is one of the greatest things I can do. That's why I share it with everyone I know, everywhere I go, okay? And sometimes they ask question after question after question after question, but really I want to get to their heart because we all know that sickness, illness, disease, suffering, it's not natural. It's not normal. It's not what we were created for.
Totally.
There's something better. So what if you could live younger and stronger for longer? What if you could activate your body's internal repair system? What if you could wake up your wellness that already lives within? And we could do that now. And it's very, very exciting, but also it's simple. Albert Einstein is a genius. He owns the brand on genius, right? When you think genius, think Albert Einstein. Well, I think y'all are geniuses. You might say, well, why? Because the root word of genius is genuine. So when everybody listening right now, and everyone that's partnered with y'all, and everyone that's tuning in, you're a genius. You're a genius when you are who God created you to be. When you walk in that predestined and foreordained purpose. And to do that, you're going to need to do some stuff with your health and wellness because there's plenty of forces out there that want to grab it. That's why I love Maha and everything y'all are doing.
Yeah, you got that right. By the way, you guys are curious, but what are we talking about? We're talking about Level 10 Matrix.
Yes.
You can go get this information, level10matrix.com. You can call 1-800-361-2270. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, then just put the word matrix down. And activating the body's internal repair system, which is going to the original design that God gave us. And these stem cells are the building material that is multiplying and multiplying all the way through while you're growing. And then suddenly your body stops producing. I just think it's the principle of, sin in the earth. Man was not meant to die, but something is not functioning. And then we have the deterioration. My, what did Paul say? My inward man is growing strong every day. My outward man is perishing. So there comes a point where you start to watch the outward man work against your inward man. It's kind of frustrating. But here's my question for you. I listen to these testimonies and they're all so randomly interesting. I mean, it would be one thing if we had a solution that was, geared towards joints. But then I'm hearing joints, then it goes to organs, or it goes to organs, it goes to conditions. We've even had some other really unusual testimonies that I won't even stretch your imagination on, but things that are like, you mean cellular regeneration actually does that too. It's like, because your whole body is fueled by this. If you had to go through the Rolodex of your memory, and you have thousands of these because you've got other people that you've activated in this field, so they're telling you what's going on. I'm going to ask the Lord to, we don't know who's watching, but we know God has them watching. Somebody's watching right now that needs to hear the right testimony. And you're right, testimony kind of gives, it gives life when they hear it.
Yes.
Think of a story that comes to you now, that a couple of them that are illustrations of real life-changing impact from the Level 10 Matrix, and what's happened. What are the wild stories that come to your mind? Sure.
My favorite testimonial, Lance, is the next one. Yeah. Always, right? But the three that come to my mind right now, somebody who's very famous, you know, if I mention her name, and she was struggling from severe neurological issues. Okay, and got a call yesterday morning about the results, and she's coming back, like literally coming back. Her doctors are noticing it. Her therapists are noticing it. Her family's noticing it. And she's literally coming out of that. And it's been 3.5 years. Wow. And she kept going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. She said yes to Level 10 Matrix. And actually, she didn't say yes. Her family said yes, because she wasn't even in a position to say yes or no. And she's been receiving a few therapies, and it's miraculous what's happening. And I can't wait to see that. So that's neurological. Now, we're not treating her neurological issue. We're activating her body's internal repair system.
Yeah, I'm learning this.
And she's literally coming back. It's miraculous. It's phenomenal. Go back to the beginning, because you always go back to the beginning, right? And the first doctor, Dr. John, he shared this with me, and I didn't really believe it. This is in 2015. And we were at a speaking engagement together, and when he came in, he flew in from Florida, and he was limping, like really, really bad, like he needed crutches, right? I said, John, what happened? He said, I was playing tennis. I blew out my knee. I blew out my meniscus, 3 meniscal tears, bone on bone, osteo, horrible. And I could see he was scared, and he's a very positive guy. And you know, we got through the speaking engagement, we helped him out, and then he went back, and he was supposed to come to one of my studios 3 weeks later and film something. And I said, there's no way he's coming. Well, he came back, and he was walking fine, and he jumped up and down and ran up the steps. I thought, what did you do? Then he showed me the x-ray. 3 of those meniscal tears, 2 of them were almost completely grown back. 1 was a third, and he was able to walk. Wow. And he was able to run, and he said, in another 2 weeks, I'm going to play tennis. Another favorite of mine, because really I call it a wellness evangelist, right? Because my personal mission is to make wellness simple. My personal vision is to help as many people as possible, as fast as possible, and equip and empower others to do the same, leaving a legacy of health and wellness. And it's our friend, Doc Darcy. You all know him and you love him. Mm-hmm. Doc Darcy was one of the first people I took to receive this. And he had just been in a car accident going 70 miles an hour in California, bang. And they told him, you need surgery. You've got herniated discs. Your career is over. It's done. He said yes to the Matrix. 2.5 months later, started to feel better. 3 months later, it snapped in. And you guys have seen him lately. He's completely restored. And now he's sharing this message of hope and healing with everyone he knows everywhere he goes. I've never seen something that's so diverse, but the body is the author of healing. Right?
Yeah, I love these. I want to ask you a question about that. Let's go to a testimony, because I want to hear what I'm going to let the producers just pick one. I want you guys to hear a random testimony. It's always surprising the different ways in which Level 10 Matrix shows up. Watch this.
Before I received Level 10 Matrix, I had many health issues, and what brought me to getting Level 10, what kind of catapulted me, was just before Christmas of last year, I started getting one of those lingering long bad coughing spells. And then just after Christmas, I started having trouble swallowing or doing movements. And come January, our new year, everything hit where I couldn't eat, I couldn't move. I basically became an invalid. I had blood pressure that would shoot up to 232 over 192. I had asked God. I went through a battery of tests, saw my family doctor, saw my cardiologist, ended up in the ER with an observation overnight. They did all their heart tests, their dyes in the veins and MRIs and x-rays. They thought maybe it would be a hiatal hernia where, this is gross, but some of your stomach goes up into your rib cage because the symptoms were the same. But of course, with the heart surgeries, they right away, it was just heart issue. So to them, I was fine. Nothing was wrong. But obviously, I knew something was wrong. So I went back to my family doctor. He looked at it and said yes, and diagnosed me with costochondritis. But then in April, when I got the level 10 matrix stem cell therapy, everything changed. And I'm talking high level of energy. And I might repeat that because I'm saying I got a lot of energy from that. On the way home, I had a fusion. I turned and looked at my husband and said, this may be weird, but I'm having less neck pain. And he said, that's awesome. But it only took about a week. And within a week, I was able to eat and able to walk, able to start sleeping on my side. And to this point today, I'm 70% better. And you know how people say, I'm my old self again? No, I'm better than my old self again. That's the way I look at it.
Amen.
That's level 10. Right?
Folks, you got to do this right now. Some of you are listening to that and you're saying, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take action? I think you said it, what was it about? You'll never possess what you're not willing to pursue. If you're not willing to contend for your life, for your health, for the sake of your children and your family, you owe it to yourself to invest in yourself. Yes. Go to level10matrix.com or call us at 1-800-361-2270 or just write Matrix at Facebook, Instagram. We'll send you the information you need. But you hear these stories a lot. But when you were talking about Doc Darcy, who we've had here, and I know him, this just reminds me of my first pastor's name was Victor. And he was a hopeless alcoholic. He had a doctor that was checking out Alcoholics Anonymous, and he himself wasn't going. What he did was he picked the hardest case he could find to see if it made a difference on him. And it just reminds me of your approach, which is, let me see how this is working for people. Yes. And he picked Vic, and Victor went through AA, and Victor got off of alcohol. And the doc went into AA, and he said, then Victor, as a developing relationship, goes, why did you pick me? He said, I wanted to pick the hardest case I could find to see if this works.
Yes.
But this is, you've seen this work with people.
Oh, I couldn't count. I literally could not count the testimonials. There's 4 full-time people on our staff that 2 of them, their total job is grabbing testimonials. More. I really would love to talk for a second about point of contact. Right? Because at the end of the day, this is supernatural, right? Now, is it in the natural? Is there science? Is there research? Yes. Is it real? Yes. Can we talk about that a lot? Yes, maybe on another show. But really, the point of contact. God just needs a point of contact. And sometimes so many people are conditioned to receive through the medical, right? And they need a point of contact. Moses' rod was a point of contact, right? Peter's shadow was a point of contact, right? This could be a point of contact for people because I want to make it clear God gets all the glory from this, not an inventor, not a researcher, not a scientist. I thank God for all that. Okay, there's a place for all that. Not a doctor. Thank God for all that. God gets 100% of the glory from everything that we do. It can literally wake up. I heard you say something on a former show that I really, really loved. In Psalm 139, God said, I knew you, or I was intimate with you in your mother's womb, right? And then it goes on to say, my hands formed you and they knit you together, right? So as I've been looking at this and when I see some of the inner workings of it, these cell factors, these regenerative messages, these regenerative signals or frequencies were in the presence of God. 12, maybe 15 months ago, 9 months through the birth cycle, healthy mother, healthy baby, grabbing that life, what you were made of. It's l'chaim. It's life, right? It's life. And there's really no downside here. Now, do we know what's going to happen? No, we don't know what's going to happen. I know so many people have come in because I want to handle this problem, and then they get a miracle somewhere else. I was talking to a pastor yesterday who just one story after another story after another story after another story. Macular degeneration. They said, you're going to be blind within the next 2 years. He said yes. All of a sudden he said within the next day he had flashes of light, and he thought, oh no, they told me that's what's going to happen, right? And he said the next day he woke up, vision clear as could be. And that's been 8 months ago, no issues whatsoever. Then he went on and told me about his wife and told me about his son. So people just love to share this, right? Because it's a message of hope and healing, and we need hope. We're being sowed, disease is being sowed into our consciousness every single day. It's a $1 trillion industry and growing and growing and growing and growing. And I wish it was about healing and bringing you back to wholeness, but it's really about money at the end of the day, right? So we need a resource. We know who the source is, but we need a resource that people can say yes to and can receive and get their internal repair system activated.
Activate that repair system. Mercedes, I haven't put any pressure on you in the program. It's time we put
people don't know, but as Lance is talking, sometimes every once in a while I'm like, it would be good if you did this right now, and I'll hold up a little sign.
Yes.
So I sometimes contribute silently that way. But what would you like me to talk about?
Yes, you are giving me sideline directions, like the third base coach going, do this, do this. You guys don't know how controlled I am in my life.
That's so not
but your
true.
mother, your own
That's
mother,
exactly what I was
as
saying.
a testimony. I mean, when it's your mom, that's when I'm paying attention because I know your mother.
Oh, this has been a journey. I don't know if they have her testimony queued up, but she had a medical procedure. After this medical procedure, randomly she gets something called, which they got diagnosed with, is late onset asthma. But she never had asthma her whole life after 50, 60 years. And then all of a sudden, I mean, she can't breathe. It's almost like she gets sick and her lungs start to fill up and it's like, she can't even breathe. Very scary. Gets put on a long-term medication, prednisone, which don't do that nobody ever told us, but now her skin is like paper thin. It's like a side effect from being on prednisone for so long. I hope I'm saying that right. And so anyways, she received the level 10 matrix. So she went from taking that pill every day to then she started taking a biologic shot, which, praise God, this shot really does help her. And so she gets a shot like every 8 weeks. And then it's like magic. She goes from not being able to breathe. It takes all of these things out. I think it's called acetophils that fill up her lungs. And now all of a sudden she can breathe again. And she's like a normal person. Yes. But it's super scary. I mean, she came to the Courage Tour. She couldn't walk more than 500 feet without having to stop because she couldn't breathe. And I was like, what is happening? And she's faithing it. And I'm like, Mom, I understand, but let's get you the shot. The thing is, the shot is $10,000. So every year she's got to call up Medicare, Medicaid, fight the battle with them. I need it. I need this shot. And this is why. It's a huge ordeal. Okay. So then she received the level 10 matrix, and I hope they have it queued and ready to go because I'm going to throw to it right now.
Well, so I've been challenged with late onset asthma. I never had asthma as growing up. All of a sudden I got it in my mid 50s, and I just really struggled, taking medication. Specifically, I was taking a biologic over the last 7 or 8 years. I just didn't think that was any way to live, was to take this medication from now until I come to meet Jesus. So that was the big push behind it, was I just really need to find something that will heal me, not just placate the symptoms. So as far as immediate changes, I didn't notice anything like flipping a light switch. It wasn't instantaneous. I was really, really blessed by the fact that the stem cells were provided along with prayer of intercessionary care for me. And that really made it a lot easier to understand what I was going to try to accomplish with the stem cells. And then within, I'm going to say 10 to 15 days, had a regular doctor's appointment with my specialist for the asthma. And she had noticed a remarkable increase in my breathing capability. The biologic that I was on was an 8-week cycle. So I got the shot, 8 weeks later, got another shot, 8 weeks later, got another shot. So in that 24 weeks since I've gotten my stem cells, I've not had one shot, and I'm breathing miraculously. I can walk the dog, I can play with my grandgirlie. I mean, you name it. It's been an all-around blessing.
It's amazing, isn't it? But she didn't say there that it's every time it's $10,000.
Right.
So it's an industry. I don't understand how it happens. I mean, I don't understand why the body starts falling apart. It's totally random that she even has this, didn't have it her whole life, and all of a sudden she's got it, and it's just kind of thrust upon you. And now you're like, you go from thriving and serving to I just want to survive. I just want to be able to walk my dog outside. I mean, it sounds silly, but she received level 10 matrix. She has not needed a shot since then.
The truth is, the reason why I love Bobby Kennedy, with much wisdom comes much grief. In this seat here, I just read a report. I was going to bring it in. The Dallas water specialists, like a front page thing. Mm-hmm. The arsenic and poison levels are exceeding what's acceptable levels for the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Sure.
You got ice cubes in restaurants that are dissolving toxic chemicals. My point is, from the air that you're breathing to the chemtrails to the pharmaceutical stuff that could be in your water that you think is safe. You get ice in something, and you're always drinking bottled water, but then the ice is going to poison you from some restaurant you go to. Yeah. There's so many ways in which just normal people are being assaulted and invaded in their body. But the genius of this of the stem cell concept in terms of the level 10 matrix is it goes to work to activate your internal repair system, but it's also multiplying the cells so that you're not just getting like, here's 10, here's 10 whatever is worth. It's like 10's becoming 100, becoming 1,000. For a period of time, it's an army going to work, and it's going to work based upon your body's self-direction. And like you said in an earlier broadcast, you cut your finger, it heals itself. You don't go, oh, man, I keep bleeding. I better pay attention to that. Heal, heal, heal. It does it on its own.
Yes.
You put the seed in the ground, Jesus said, and it grows on its own. Nobody knows how. Jesus is talking about a principle. You put something in, and it begins to multiply on its own. But the testimonies come out consistently.
Yes.
And it's and basically people perish for lack of knowledge. Don't let that be you. Go to level10matrix.com. Call 800-361-2270. Comment Matrix, Matrix, on Facebook and Instagram. And you told the story. I'm not sure we got the whole story because Mercedes said we need to see, we wanted to get a video. But did you complete the story on Doc Darcy? So he has this serious accident. Mm-hmm. His discs are all compressed. And then?
Herniated, they said career-ending injury. He was a chiropractor, an electrical medicine specialist by trade. Career's over. Need surgery. He tried everything. He said yes, received 2.5 months, started feeling relief. Then he was adjusting a patient on the table on month 3, and he just felt it all snap back in. Ever since then, no pain, zero pain.
Wow.
That was 2016, right? So he's a smart medicine miracle, and then he's committed his career and his life to share it with other people, and that's the beauty of the gospel. How do we do it? We share. It's one sharing with another, sharing with another, sharing with another through testimonies.
I believe we got people watching that actually have healing ministries.
Yes.
And I think put the hands together. This is like another way. This is your healing ministry is the calling on your life. And then God will give you the technology and the knowledge to be able to transfer and give people access to like level 10 matrix. Because I think I've seen people that are rising up in my own groups that are saying, I got to be doing this. And it's possible that some people have a calling like yours, isn't it? To actually be evangelists of healing.
Absolutely. It's. I always say, best thing in the world to share this message of hope and healing. Best business in the world. 8 out of 10 people right now, and I'm serious about this. 8 out of 10 people are praying for something, and that's one of the reasons I love when you ask Mercedes to share about her mom. Your mother, your father, people that you know, your neighbors, your friends. When disease or infirmity or chronic pain hits, it affects the entire family. Sometimes I remember watching my mom suffer. I would rather me suffer than have my mom suffer. So it's really a global thing. And when you were saying multiplication, I love it. So I want to multiply everybody's health. Like one puts 1,000 to flight, right? And so one person praying puts 1,000 angels to flight. Well, wouldn't you think two people would put 2,000 angels to flight?
I think
But it's
a healing-
10,000.
There is a healing revolution. Mercedes?
Amen. No, I think it's good. I'm just think we should just tell people like you did. It's like, you want to go ahead and get a hold of level10matrix.com, put in your name, your email. You're going to get a book right there that answers 98% of your questions. And we'll even have somebody from the team call up, follow up with you, and just make sure to see if this is the right missing piece for you.
Well, all I'm going to say is I got more questions, but we're not going to do them now because we went 6 minutes over my runtime. And so it's a rare thing when we do that, but we do it on occasion because, Bobby, this idea about restoring what's been stolen,
Yes.
I feel the compassion of God for many of you that are struggling with the fear, what am I going to do? Or you have a family member and you're at your wit's end and you've done everything you know how to do. Maybe this is your moment. This is your call to find an answer. Level10matrix.com, call 800-361-2270. And by the way, we need to hear your testimony. When you do this, I want to hear your testimony. If you're comfortable sharing it, giving us a video like we're doing, we'll share with other people and we'll multiply the impact of the breakthrough in your life.
Amen.
If we don't have anything else to share, then we're clear. All right, we're going to see you again tomorrow. You don't want to miss. Every day, we're going to be focusing on another aspect of living life at a level 10. But nothing is more important than that you had the vitality to deliver on the divine call in your life. And Bobby Vitality, what a name. This is the secret sauce. Talk to you again tomorrow.
Did you enjoy this latest episode? Please remember to share it with your friends, because the more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to